Allow me to start from here. On my recent visit to Switzerland, I've seen that we are not the same, the Indians and the Europeans or the US or anyone who's living in a better country. We are not just the same. We are also paying the cost, but when we are not getting anything closer to what they are getting. Yeah. So with that, let's get started with our day. We are on our day 26 of 30 days, 30 financial topics, and I'm not quite sure yet whether we are there, but today I'm going to tell you something I regret of not doing, that is studying abroad. But if you are planning studying abroad, we will be seeing how to secure an education loan for studying abroad step by step with my experience and my inputs of why you should study abroad. And so let's get started with our day. So, like I started my interaction with one of the European was on our drive. I mean, that their regret was that they pay a lot of taxes. It kind of caught my attention, and I asked them, "What do you mean by you pay a lot of taxes?" He politely replied, "It's like from 40 to 50% as a income goes for taxes." Yeah, so I kind of understand 40 to 50% of taxes is it sounds huge, right? But then let us imagine this. You're also paying taxes in India, but then you're also paying a tax up to 30% with surcharge. It goes up to 33 percentage. And then Europeans, or particular to Europeans, what I have seen, they don't have tolls. Yeah, so they don't have to worry about the roads. The roads are best. The tolls are not there. The diesel is reasonably okay. The cars, they have been okay. That is something maybe up to the standards, but I'll tell you why it is important. So the holidays or the advantages they have, or the let's talk about my favorite thing. It's the food, right? So the food by default, what you get there is A grade. Let us understand that. Even we produce A grade food in India, but trust me, this food is nowhere reachable to you if you are someone who's no, average income earning. But then that is not the case there. By default, the average earning person also gets to eat an A grade food, right? So that kind of brings me back if I only had or accommodated or affordable to be able to study abroad, then would have been a lot different everything. So but here's your chance if you're someone who's recently started studying, or are you exploring about studying abroad, your opportunities, you want to think big, or you want to this your chance to change or escape the reality which we couldn't do, or which somehow we missed, right? So I'm gonna explain you a step-by-step process how you can get a studying abroad, or a loan for studying abroad, right? So to introduce a pursuing a higher education abroad can be a life-changing, but it comes with very significant cost. Of course, cost is there because personally for Indians, we stand very down at the food chain, and the currencies we are kind of comparing with stands at 10 times, 100 times more powerful than our currencies. Yeah, that's a I know I'm not criticizing India and all, but we have a long way to go. Let us look at that way. So you definitely need a significant amount of money, of course, and then educational loans are viable solutions to cover this kind of tuition fees and loans or living expenses or other costs which you kind of incur when you're in your journey to so it's a kind of mandate, let me say that way. Even now when you when you try to apply for some jobs and some universities, they check your bank balance just to know that you can accommodate at least your cost of living when you're out there studying. Yeah, that makes sense. Nobody wants let us say extra burden on their country just because they have been given the chance of studying there. Yeah, so let's not go there. But then the fact is that you need a lot of money. In my opinion, if you want to study abroad, about a 15,000 euros tuition fee and another 15,000 euros for your cost of living for the 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. So about 30,000 euros, that's converted it to about 28 to 30 lakhs rupees. Yeah. So taking a loan is the most viable option. Let us see what is an educational loan before we understand that. So an educational loan is basically it is issued to the student, and there are different types of education loans which we will further understand in our video going ahead. But then the education loan is typically a loan which is funding to your education, and the collateral of paying back is typically your earnings, right? So you don't have to pay anything while you're studying, but then mind you, the interest gets accumulated, keeps on accumulated, and it only gets started. You can start paying the loan once you start earning, right? So try to understand the types of educational loan. There are not many. There are typically two types of educational loan. When one is a secured loan and another is unsecured loan. Sounds very basic. Secured loan is where you kind of need a collateral, be it a property or a fixed deposit against which you're going to take a loan, or which kind of offers you a lower interest rate, because that even if you are going to default, the risk for the banker is less, right? So it makes sense that they give it for a lesser interest rate. Then comes another way of loan which is called unsecured loan. So which is basically do not require collateral but may have a higher interest rate and a stricter eligibility criteria, that not everybody can go get one. So comparing both to determine what works best for you is a kind of a financial situation you are into, right? So the eligibility criteria for each lender has a specific requirements for granting educational loans. The common eligibility factors include academics background and scores, such as previous degree or your GRE or your GMAT, or the IELTS score, or TOEFL score, or something like. So basing on how much you score also, the eligibility kind of changes, right? It's only the worthy can go out there, right? So admission confirmations from a recognized foreign university would also help you in getting loans, right? So, and also the course of studying and its earning potentials. If you're taking up some course, and the market demand of such course is also plays a critical role on how much and how quick you will be able to get a loan, etc. Yeah, so co-applicant requirements, etc. are there. Often a parent or a guardian with a stable income has to give a sort of assurance that on behalf of you, that the loan would be paid on something like that. So many banks are there, right? Many people out there who wants to give you loan because it's a business, they want to do it, and with the right checklist, everybody wants to give you the loan. So it is kind of very important for you to understand how you can get the loan, right? Or let me say how or from where you can get the loan. There are typical 4 points which kind of require here. So look for banks or financial institutions, and or non-banking financial companies also works, that specializes in education loans for overseas studies. Yeah, go for those who are already into this kind of business, who are used to, right? Those who understand the factors, right? Consider the factors such as, the interest rate to start with, whether it is a fixed or floating. When if you better want to understand fixed or floating, so the interest rate is determined basing on the repo rate by RBI, of course. It kind of keeps on changing. To give you an example, the home loan I took 3 years ago, the home loan was a floating, and the rate of interest was 6.9%. Yeah, 4 years, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. But then within 1 year from the date of loan, the repo rate has changed to 9%. Now because I took a floating rate of interest, basing on the repo rate, my interest has been changed. Now I'm paying at a 9% interest. Yeah, so I didn't get to take that kind of advantage for the 6%. But then if I had took the fixed rate of return, then that rate prevailing on the date of your loan, which is in my example 6%, would have been the rate for rest of your life, irrespective of whether the floating or anything has happened, right, or reduced, which is, ask me, fixed is better because you can be prepared for your future and you know for certain how much you're going to pay. Floating has advantage as well, which I have never found because of the inflation growing every day. The rates are just going to be increasing. The borrowing cost just going to be increasing. It is no way coming down, right? So try to get a fixed loan, fixed interest rate, and you also need to check out on those repayment terms and moratorium periods, etc., which is like the cooling period before when you can start paying, like immediately after your education or immediately after you get your first job. So this kind of terms are very important, how much you're going to pay, etc., and time period, वगैरह. The loan processing time is something, uh, if you need it immediately within the 1 month because you have secured the invitation from the college, you want to go there within the next 1 month or 2 months or maybe next 10 days. Yeah, so kind of important basing on how quick you need the loan. So check out that loan processing time, how much it takes, and coverage for tuition. So you have to, as I said, you have to estimate your cost of living out there while you're studying. There are many people telling you about, you can do part-time jobs and all. Mind you, the part-time jobs are nice, fun and all, but uh, nothing compared to what you see here, or you will not be getting up, white collar jobs. These are all blue collar jobs, what you get out there, and trust me, you wouldn't like it that much if you're someone who's a bit pampered by your parents, right? Yeah, so check that amount before itself. Take an estimate of total living cost, travel expenses, or the tuition cost, etc., and take a lump sum amount as a loan, right? And you can also adjust that with your savings, etc. If you have any, that is always better to spend your own money rather than, taking a loan, right? So it is very important to determine your loan amount, assess your financial requirements by considering tuition fees and entire course. So ask your consultants or college that how much is going to be the tuition fee for the entire course. Yeah, that is first. And accommodation and living expenses. Do your research. How much a rent cost? How much a day food cost? How much you're going to pay for your daily commute, etc. These are very important questions which you're going to put it in a checklist, right? So put that out there and take out a per day cost, divide or multiply it into an year and understand, right? Travel and visa costs. So visa uh, looks easy, but not for the educational purposes where you get to have to get your documents verified. You have to pay an upfront amount and etc. So that is there, and your travel cost, of course, the flight tickets, vagara, are not going to be cheaper when you're going a little far, like Switzerland or Canada or US or somewhere where you want to study, then it's going to cost you a decent 50,000 to 1 lakh, basing on what mode and how frequently you want to travel, etc. Yeah, so that also you need to factor in while calculating your loan amount. So some miscellaneous expenses like books, health insurance, and other essentials also are important in going forward. I will be covering you like more concepts like what are the health insurances and other essentials you would be needing if you're someone who's studying abroad or who wants to plan study abroad, etc. But then for now, let us keep it here and take a tip. Many lenders cover up to 100% of the cost, but ensure that the amount align with your repayment capacity. Yeah, so there's no point in taking a lot of loan at the end. You need to understand that you have to pay these loans back. and that too with interest. Yeah, so understand your capacity before you take a loan, how much you are going to earn, how many years it's going to cost you to pay back that loan. There's no point in going out there if you can't enjoy your life, because we only live once, right? So let's move on and understand some necessary documents which you require for acquiring a loan. So first and foremost thing is your admission letter from the university, which you're going to get after your successful scoring of a seat in your preferred university, of course. Then comes your academic records and test scores, agera. So your past academic scores from India are going to be significant. Also, your test scores like TOEFL or IELTS, that those are also GMAT, वगैरह. It'll also play a huge role, right? So identity proof is which is kind of a must, which is your Aadhaar, passport, etc. If you don't have a passport and you're dreaming already about studying abroad, then guys, the first thing you need to do is applying the passport. Yeah, so get that. Financial documents like income proof, IT returns, and bank statements. Like I said, many of us apply to the education after we do a recent decent work experience in India, and there are specialized courses for experienced professionals, वगैरह. So, but if you are someone who is keeping your parents or guardian as a proof, then you have to also submit the income returns of those individuals as well. And if you're someone who is 18 plus, वगैरह, then it is advisable for you to file a IT return to better show them the legal document. It's not just a return, it's also a kind of a proof that you are coexisting in the world. Yeah, so make that. Some bank statements would hit. Make sure the bank statement has a decent amount of money, not the zero balance bank statement. Yeah, that makes sense. Some collateral documents, if you're someone going for a secured loan, then you might have to give those papers with the collateral papers like the you know land papers, etc. That is needed, right? So for securing the loan. So that being said, let us understand the moratorium period. Refers to the time during which you don't need to repay the loan. It's sort of a cooling period, which typically until 6 to 12 months after completing your studies. Yeah, so you took a loan today, and immediately after the end of your education itself, you don't need to pay, but then you can wait up to 6 to 12 months before you can actually secure a decent paying job, and then you start paying for your loan. Yeah, this period kind of helps students focus on their education without worrying about immediate repayment. Yeah, the education and securing a job is two different things. And, education can might be help you in securing a job, but not a guaranteed way. Yeah, so check that out. Check if the lender offers a flexible repayment options during this time. That's going to be a good win-win situation. So learn about interest subsidiaries and schemes if in there, like some governments or financial institutions sort of offer subsidies or special schemes to support students studying abroad. For instance, Indian government subsidy scheme provides interest subsidies for economically weaker sections, right? So bank specific offers are there. Many banks have a lower rates for premier institutions or specific courses, etc. Yeah, so check that out. Most lenders require a co-applicant or a guarantor to back the loan. They are responsible for repayment in case the borrower defaults, right? So ensure your co-applicant has a strong financial profile, be it your father or be it your any other guardian. So it is a kind of an important thing, right? So plan for currency fluctuations, and that is important because there are many things. It's like a commodity nowadays. The currency is highly fluctuating. The amount can change. You have planned everything for today's rate of conversion, but then in 2 years, in 3 years, when you are supposed to pay back the loan, or when you're supposed to do that, the conversion would kind of affect you. What if the conversion has gone down? It is good, but prepare for the worst. That's what they say, right? So be prepared for that currency conversions. And here's a tip: consider a forex card or a specialized account to manage overseas expenses efficiently. Yeah, so choose a repayment plan according to your need or requirement. Repayment plans typically start after the moratorium period. Discuss the repayment options with your lenders, such as your monthly EMIs based on your income after graduations, or repayment options to reduce interest burden, like you want to pay a lump sum in case, or some loans that is very important. Here's a tip: look for loans with flexible repayment terms to accommodate your future earning potential. Yeah, so that is a kind of an important. There comes another: explore scholarships and grants vagera before applying for a loan. Research scholarships and grants offered by universities or other organizations. This can significantly reduce your financial burden and loan amount. Yeah, so that is important. Play early, start your loan applications process as soon as you receive your admission confirmation. Early confirmation ensures you to have enough time for processing or verification or securing the funds before your course actually begins. Yeah, securing a loan for studying overseas is a structured process that requires careful planning, research, and preparation. Vagara. Yeah, so always read the fine print, seek guidance when needed, and approach the process with the clarity to ensure a smooth experience. So, with that, let us conclude our day. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Hit that subscribe button if you find this is helpful. Do let me know if you want me to explore a new concept, or I will anyway come up with a better concept for you. Yeah, so see you all. Bye bye.